Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the first New Hampshire Gives Coffee Hour. I am Deborah Clark, the New Hampshire Gives project lead here at the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits, and I'm joined today by my colleague Kelly Wing, who will be keeping an eye on me and the chat and making sure we don't miss any questions. The purpose of the coffee hour is really to give you just a little bit of information about a topic, and then have an open forum for questions that you may have. I know that there's a lot of unknowns and unknowables, and particularly if you're new, some of it is very confusing. I'm going to start with a few announcements. My first announcement is actually just a fact. There are 34 days left until New Hampshire Gives. That is just sneaking up on me really, really fast. My second announcement is kind of a no announcement. We do not have any announcements about the bonus pool at this time. I have been told that probably by next week we will know a little bit more. So remember, though, that the best way to incentivize your donors is to secure matching funds for your organization. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. The New Hampshire Gives swag store is open for business. You can get t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, kids apparel, drinkware, stickers. You can get a little something for yourself, or you can find something to use as an incentive for maybe your top peer-to-peer fundraiser or your staff. Or you could get a coffee mug for your matching donor, something that to thank them for supporting you during this. And then if you haven't already done so, Kelly's going to put the link to the swag store in the chat, and she'll also put a link to this form. We're asking people to send in a brief statement about how New Hampshire Gives has impacted your organization, your constituents, and your communities. The ones that we've gotten so far have been great, and my plan is to print these off and hand them off to Scott and Greg for the live stream as a way to give exposure to nonprofits that might not otherwise be represented in the live stream. So it will give them a chance to read your story. On the site, there's been some changes. The prizes or incentives page is now live. We have dropped you some hints and details about some of those prizes and emails and on webinars, but now you can look at the whole picture and plan your strategy. And there are some, just so you know, that you do have to sign up for in advance. So make sure you read all the details. There are forms where you have to sign up for, I think it's like 3 or 4 of them. And the matching page is also live. So this will feature all matches that have been entered into the system so far. As of yesterday, we had 25 matches totaling $245,000. The interesting fact about that is only 12 out of the 450 plus nonprofits that we have registered right now. So I expect that number will go up. Some of the matches are like $100, and some of them are very large. But I will say that having a match is telling your donors that you've invested some effort into New Hampshire Gives to make this more fun for them and to give them incentives. So matches and challenges, no matter how big or small, are just a way to tell your donors that you're really prepared. So then we have the peer-to-peer or fundraiser page that is now is public. I think that one's been public for a little while. We already have 173 peer-to-peer fundraisers signed up, and their goals that they set to raise total nearly $95,000. Again, though, those fundraisers are representing 32 out of the 450 plus organizations that are registered. So get busy getting your peer-to-peer fundraisers, get busy getting your matches. And then I just wanted to follow up on one thing that we talked about last week related to peer-to-peer fundraisers, and I'm just going to share my screen really quickly. Can you see that? So this is a peer-to-peer fundraising page, and I wanted to show you, we were talking about the difference between a campaign name and just using your own name as a peer-to-peer fundraiser. This person, this is the campaign name. She named her campaign Help Jill, raised $1,000. And then she did a little blurb about herself and why she cares. And she's also offering a $200 match to people who donate via her page. So she can either do that through every time somebody donates via her page, she can make a donation, or if she's wanting to not put so many charges on her credit card in a short period of time, she can wait until the $200 has been matched and then do one donation. So the rest of the page is really directly from the organization's page. It shows their donation levels. It tells about the organization. So that's a really good, complete profile. And then this one, in this example, Kelly Torgi, is a fundraiser for. So she just used her name. She did not enter any kind of campaign name. And then she told the story about who she is and why she cares about this cause. So that's an effective way. And then the organization stuff is below that. So that is kind of where that is at. I'm trying to find the stop share button. There we go. And I hope that helps alleviate any confusion that I caused last week. So that's the end of my announcements for now. We do have a special guest today. TJ Engelkamp is here from CauseVid. CauseVid is a platform that assists nonprofits in creating and sending personalized thank you videos to their donors. So it's a quick and easy way to let your donors know that they are more than just a dollar amount on a spreadsheet to you. These videos can be really quick. You can go on and say, "Thank you, Tom, for donating to our organization. We will be using this for blah," and send it to Tom right away. So CauseVid has generously reached out to us and said that New Hampshire Gives participants can create a special trial account to use during and after New Hampshire Gives. And this is 100% free. No credit card information is required to set up your trial. So I brought TJ here to make sure that more people know about it. TJ, you can take over and tell us about CauseVid.
Awesome. Thanks, Deborah. Like Deborah said, we are a company that helps nonprofits create, personalize, and share their videos. And so we're essentially just a technology to capture videos and simplify the process. And then it'll push you through an email that sends the video directly to their inbox, and a little GIF, if you've heard of like a GIF of you at the beginning of your video, and you can click on it and it'll take you to the video. So it completely sidesteps all of the video collection process and simplifies it into an email campaign. So I'm really excited to tell you guys about it. Deborah, I don't know if I have screen sharing abilities. I'm going to go ahead and attempt that here.
I just did it.
Awesome. Great. Okay. So this is let's try to get to CauseVid here. Okay. So this is what your free trial experience will look like. This is the quick send feature of the CauseVid Essentials. It's like our first tier of what we offer. And like Deborah said, we're offering this to you as a completely free tool for your giving day. So the use case, or like what the purpose of this would be, is say somebody comes in and gives to your nonprofit that's participating in New Hampshire Gives, and maybe like a couple minutes have passed and you want to immediately thank them and send them an email that says, "Hi, Deborah. I just wanted to thank you for your gift of $50. And we really appreciate your support." Short and sweet. Thank you. Goodbye. That could be an example of a great use case for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through the quick send and do exactly that. So I'm going to send a video to Deborah, and then we're going to watch it at the end. And then if you guys have any questions or what this could look like partnering with CauseVid, I will be happy to answer those. So let's jump in. So right here, we have add recipients. I'll go ahead and click add manually. You can also add using a spreadsheet. So say maybe a day has passed and 50 people have given to your campaign. You could add them all in using a spreadsheet, but for now we'll just do add manually. Let's see, I have your email here. All right, so email's in there. There's this little spot where you can put in a note. So I'll just say, "Thank you for your gift of $50. The reason I would put a note is because Sometimes you can create a contact and then send it to somebody else to record the video. Okay, and so from here, I'll hover over Deborah and then I'll click compose video. So we can see that the from and to information copied over. I'll just put, thank you for your recent gift. Hi, Deborah. I just wanted to say thank you for your gift of $50. And then after you'll put this, we always recommend including the call to action of please watch the video I recorded for you by clicking the image below. Thanks, TJ. Okay, so this is the full body of the email. That's what will appear. And this is where it gets pretty neat. So we can see that we're building an email out here, but you can record a video. Hi, Deborah. I just wanted to say thank you for your generous gift of $50. We really appreciate the support, and it really goes a long way in helping our organization fulfill our mission. Thank you. So we can play it back. Hi, Deborah. I just wanted to say thank you for your generous gift of $50. We really appreciate the support. And okay, so it looks like my audio is working. Everything looks good. There's also an option to include a second video, which I'll do here. And the reason that a second video is an option is because say you wanted to include a non-personalized video that was just could go to anybody. And you want to save yourself some time by having half of the video be personalized and half of the video be general. You could go ahead and record a second video. All of our donors, we really prioritize wanting to thank them as soon as possible after your gift. Thank you for partnering with us and fulfilling our mission. Same deal, you can play it back. All of our donors, the reason that this is really powerful is if say your organization has content that you already have made, you can also upload a video of saying like, here's how we, the Boys and Girls Club of America, this is how we've helped our students fulfill, their goals and their dreams. So it's a really powerful way of kind of combining the personalized with the generalized. You can also include a call to action button. So I'll just put learn more here, and then we'll do nhgives.org. And for the sake of showing you guys the example, I'm going to go ahead and actually send this to, let's see. I'm going to try to send this to myself. For some reason it didn't copy over the, do a simplified version of this. And then I'll send my video email. Okay. Oh, actually, that did not send to myself. Let me try this one more time. At cosvid.com. Copy over. Thank you for your recent gift. Say hi, TJ. Thank you for your gift. Hi, TJ. Thank you for your gift. Okay. Now I'll send this to myself and then I will pull it up for your guys' viewing. Okay. And then let's see if I can. All right. Well, that's processing. I will share a little bit more about what the partnership would look like. Deborah, have you received your email message that I sent you? Okay. Well, it takes a bit of time for this to process, but this is kind of the basics of what COSVID does. And we're really excited to offer this sponsorship because, yeah, it's just a really great way to have a face-to-face personal connection with your donors. And yeah, it's just a really powerful tool. So we're excited to to offer it. While we're waiting, does anybody have any questions right off the bat about what the platform does or any use cases?
I have a quick question. Is it a monthly fee for COSVID?
Yes, so this is a free trial version. So whenever your giving day goes live, we will have this give you a login and a password ahead of time.
Yeah.
And this is specifically for Giving Day, organizations that are participating in Giving Day. But if you were to sign up for the COSVID Premium, it's $199 a month, and you can pay monthly, and you can also pay upfront if your organization prefers to do that as well. And we also have essentially this same light version of it that's a little bit cheaper. And we offer different packages that I'd be willing to speak more detail with you about, but that's kind of the pricing for the.
Great. And is there, COSVID has a website we can go on and all the information is there?
Yes, I can just drop that in the chat.
Okay. Also, so for the free trial, is it a 24-hour trial?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
I don't know if it's
No,
exactly 24 hours. I'd have to get more information about that.
It's not. It goes, I believe, for like 30 days after New Hampshire Gives. So you don't have to do it the day of New Hampshire Gives. It will give you some time to breathe before you send out videos if you're not able to do it that day.
Can we, in fact, could we start it the day of, so let's say, could we start the trial the morning of New Hampshire Gives and get our video all ready? Or
you can start the trial today. You can go on, Kelly, can you put the direct link in the chat for our COSVID page?
Sure.
You can go and create that today and have everything ready and play around in it before the day of so that you feel comfortable.
Oh, that's great. This is really wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Rick, you have your hand up.
Yeah, hi. If the organization signs up for the free trial, can we also essentially ask each of our peer-to-peer fundraisers to use this?
Yeah, so in terms of the breadth of this training, I could cover more about what COSVID does in the more fuller extent. But essentially, yes, there's a feature of the platform where you can create clip creators. And then from there, you send out a link to basically ask them to create clips. I actually have a couple here. You'll get this little reminder email that says COSVID sales has requested, but there would be your organization videos in their behalf. And the cool part about this is that it actually reminds them every day until they create the clip. So it takes all of the pestering and poking off of your shoulders and just automates it. So say you have 150 people that have given to your campaign, and that's way too many for one person to tackle. You can split it up between 5 clip creators, and it's a pretty seamless process.
Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
This is great.
I don't think my email is going to come through that I can show you guys, but one thing I wanted to share too is that say you were to create a video and you wanted to make it a generalized video that's included in the thank you message that you send out after a gift has been processed. So say you don't want to do first name, you don't want to make it personalized. What you would do is you would send a video message to yourself. You would say, do the same thing, COSVID. See if it'll go. Okay. Same thing. I'll say, thank you for your gift. And then we'll just include no name. For your gift, please watch the video below. Okay. And here we would click upload video or record a generalized video. And then from here, you would send the video to yourself, and the link that you get, you would just include in the thank you message that you're sending. So then you don't actually have to go through and use COSVID every time. You could just have one link that you use. So if you'd prefer to do it that way, that's also an option. And that's a pretty common question we get with this kind of thing. So I figured I would just cover it in advance. Does anybody else have any other questions?
TJ, there's a question in the chat about do folks typically send this out as soon as someone donates? So it's like a real-time response typically?
We recommend generally doing it within a day or 48 hours. I know some people like to have all hands on deck for their giving days for this kind of thing. But generally speaking, yeah, a 24-hour to 48-hour turnaround time is recommended. It's not necessary per se. It's up to you and your organization what you think is best. But essentially, it's just to make sure that their donation is fresh on their mind, and they are probably going to get the most value out of the situation if they're thanked pretty soon. So that's kind of why the 24 hours, 48 hours.
There's also
I'm
a question.
noticing questions about the free trial period, and my understanding is that you can sign up now. Everybody who signs up through that link will have a trial through July something. I'm sorry, I don't have the date on the top of my head. So it's not like a 30-day trial. It's a special period for New Hampshire Gives that will go from whenever you sign up until that period ends.
Yeah, and I can follow up here with an email with helpful tips as well. That's kind of a common practice that we do to help you get started. Seems like there's a couple. Are these new questions, Kelly?
Yes, Jessica was asking, are videos embedded in the email? If not, how long are the links active?
Yes, so COSVID is completely online in terms of where the videos are stored, which is a pretty cool feature of the platform. And we never actually take down landing pages. So essentially where the people will end up on the online part of it. And the reason we do that is because we know that, say you sent somebody a video and they're, last year I got this really neat video from New Hampshire Gives and I wanted to go see it. Somebody could view that a year from now and it would still be an active link. Because we know that this might be a meaningful connection to the donor as well. So we want to keep those active. So yeah, it's not actually embedded in the email itself. It's just a link that directs you to an online.
Great. And one other question, just clarifying that you can give access to different people at your organization and they can send messages to donors.
Yeah, really anybody can create messages. They just need a unique link that you can send them, and that we would cover that. Basically, if you signed up, we would be able to help you with that. But there's a really easy way to request people to clip to make clip creators. So, and it's really not specific to. Yeah, you just have to have the link. It's pretty simple.
Great.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
It looks like Mackenzie has her hand raised. Mackenzie, do you want to go ahead and unmute and ask your question?
Sure. Hi, good morning. I know in GiveGab, it has that thank you section. So when someone sends a donation, you can put in a message, add a video or an image and things like that. So I guess using the COSVID, I guess I'm trying to understand, the perks of maybe using this feature than the GiveGab, or kind of what's the give and takes of it both?
A couple things come to mind. One is that if you use a kind of integrated video creation process, what's unique about COSVID is that it actually creates that GIF, and we find that by embedding a GIF into the actual video, it actually drives your view rates up quite a bit. And we also I don't think you can, I'm not super familiar with GiveGab. We're more familiar with Donor Perfect in terms of a giving CRM or platform. But I know that the requesting clip creators part of the video creation process is unique to COSVID as well, which gives you a little bit more scale in creating these videos. So those are the two things that come to mind. I don't have a super, I guess, comprehensive answer to that to that question, but those are the two things that come to mind right off the bat.
Yeah, and I would say the video that you can embed in your thank you email is just a standard email that goes out. The same thing goes out to everyone. Whereas with COSVID, you can do that and then send them another email following up. You know, the one that they get as part of their donation receipt is it's one thing, you know, everybody gets one of those, they all know they get one, but to get another email directly from you with a personalized video is a different kind of experience, I think. So
yeah, we find that the personalization piece of it is really what makes COSVID kind of a neat to use.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Absolutely.
any other questions about COSVID?
I just wanted to say it looks really cool and I'm excited to use it.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah, and we're really excited about the opportunity too, because we are, yeah, our goal is to help you guys raise more money and build a connection with your donors. So insofar that this platform helps you do that, we're really excited to help you guys out. So
Great, thank you, TJ.
absolutely.
All right, I am opening the floor for any other questions. What's your burning need to know? You can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself.
Deborah, Michelle was just kind of clarifying here. So the thank you through GiveGab goes right at the time of the gift, and the message through COSVID is delayed a bit.
The message through COSVID goes whenever you choose to send it.
Yes, so I can add a little bit more clarity to that too. There's about 5-minute delay of when your clip is being processed as well. But that in the long run is a pretty short delay. And if there's ever a delay that's longer than 5 minutes, you can always reach out to me and COSVID customer support, and we can go in and figure out what's happening to your video or why it's in limbo. So there is a feature that you can schedule ahead of time as well. So say you want to schedule a video that's going out, you can do that 2 days from now or whenever, or on somebody's birthday, for example. So
Great, thanks. Peter, you have your hand raised.
Hi, is it okay to ask a question about the matching gift?
Absolutely.
Do you know for the matching gift pool, will there be a maximum gift size? 2 years ago, there was $1,000.
Yep. The bonus pool this year, we're not having a direct dollar for dollar match. It's a bonus pool. So it will be a percentage, whatever percentage of the total online donations that your organization raises, we will apply that percentage to the bonus pool, and that will be the amount that you will receive. So there's no minimum donation, that it just doesn't apply.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I ask a follow-up to that?
Yes, absolutely.
And just because I wasn't a part of this last year, so even though I've been a part of all of your trainings, it's still wrapping my mind around it. So our board members who were very involved last year asked me about the challenges that happened throughout the day last year. Was that the match piece that's not taking place now? Just so I'm like clear.
Yeah, they could have been referring to because the match was split up into, I don't remember how many different sections, where there was a certain amount of money available at this hour and a certain amount available.
Okay, yes, that is what they were referring to.
There are also, we were talking earlier about the incentive page going live. So those are also some things that are kind of challenges throughout the day that you can strategize around.
Okay, so this year it's really those incentives and then the bonus pool.
Yeah.
Right. That I just wanted to make sure I was giving them accurate information. And since I didn't experience it last year, I wasn't Sure.
Well,
Thank you.
Welcome to the experience of New Hampshire Gives.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Can I ask?
Ellen?
Yeah, so you were new also, we're very new and pretty limited in in manpower, but women power, whatever. So, when you say submit your story, tell us your story. And then, you can go through the whole thing and then it says 600 characters or less, share the impact New Hampshire Gives has had on your organization. Well, we haven't really had an impact except for the fact that you've helped us start to organize our thinking about fundraising because we're pretty new at this whole thing in general. I mean, is that okay to just put something as simple as that on there?
You can put what you hope that you will get out of New Hampshire Gives. So it's something about your organization and like, we're hoping to use the funds that we raise for New Hampshire Gives to blank, what is going to be the impact on your constituents in your community? Who else wants to ask a question?
Hi, Deborah. It's Elena Leon.
Hi, Lena.
Hi. So I'm new to New Hampshire Gives as well. Women Aid of Concord is absolutely not, but first time I'm working on it. And are there key deadlines I need to be aware of? I know it's about 4 weeks away, but any specific upcoming quick deadlines we should be aware of for updating our pages?
Once you're registered, there are no more real deadlines. You want to just make sure that you are fully verified. So if you log into your New Hampshire Gives GiveGab account, it will tell you at the top of the page that whether you are verified or whether they need more information.
Right.
If you have questions about that, just email me and I can check it too. And then, just getting your profile ready and planning your strategy for, your communication strategy. Who's going to be doing what the day of? Are you going to have somebody making phone calls? But there's no other real deadlines.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I ask another question?
Absolutely.
So for the peer-to-peer fundraising, so with the New Hampshire Fiddle Ensemble, we have like 110 members of the ensemble who could possibly be great peer-to-peer fundraisers. But they're also, many of them are older, and like for me to do the peer-to-peer fundraising, I'm all new to this lingo and everything. It would be great if we could have like some sort of clear way so that I could say to the members here, start a peer-to-peer fundraising. You have to do this step, this step, this step, this step, this step, or they're not going to do it because like or even just for me looking at it, going, oh my God, I'm not even following the lingo precisely. I don't even get so. Anyway.
This is not an uncommon problem, I will tell you. And one of the things that you can do, and I know that White Birch Center did this, they set up a single peer-to-peer profile for their board members. So it's the board members of White Birch Center fundraising page for New Hampshire Gives, and they set it up and they're giving the board members that link. And so the board members can send that link out to their networks and say, I'm raising funds with the board. Here's the link where you can support my cause, and this is why I love it. So that's one option. I know somebody last week had said that they had kind of done a walkthrough with their peer-to-peer fundraisers, their board. Has anybody got experience with that?
I think that maybe one of the organizations had talked about setting up a Zoom meeting with her fundraisers and sharing her screen and walking them through that process. And she shared that was time well spent.
Yeah. You can also, Ellen, you can go in and set up the profiles for them. I know you said you're not 100% comfortable there either, or you could have a teenager, if you've got one, go in and do it for you. So there's lots of ways that you can do that. We don't have a specific step-by-step other than what's on the peer-to-peer fundraising kit on the site.
And I did share in the chat the link to the the P2P fundraisers guide, so that is a tool that's designed for them, that sort of breaks down some of the basics of getting started, and there's some sample messages in there as well.
Deborah, this is Allison Morgan, and I'm really new to this too. And you talked about the profile. Is that something we submit to you, or what is the profile all about?
The profile is your New Hampshire Gives profile. So it's what will show up on your fundraising page. So it has a little bit, you can put your story in there, you can put a video in there. There you can set up the donation levels. When you are in your Giving Day profile, when you're logged in, there's kind of a step-by-step process where as you complete each step, a little checkbox appears. So you get logged in, go through that process, and then let us know if you have any other questions. And then peer-to-peer fundraisers also have their own profile. So there's two different kinds of profiles. Peer-to-peer fundraisers set up a profile, which also includes most of your organization's profile, but it gives them the opportunity to tell why they support the organization.
And when we use the word profile, we're just referring to your organizational page within the New Hampshire Gives site. So if you're looking for an example, you can just go to the New Hampshire Gives homepage and click on one of the organizations that are registered to see an example of what that will look like. Jean, I see you have your hand up. Before we get to you, Deborah, there was a question about formatting glitches on the P2P pages. Is that something you can speak to at all?
I'm just looking at it. I do not have enough information to speak to it intelligently. It did look like there was a hard return on that one that I showed. I kind of assumed that the user had accidentally put in a return. Are people having specific issues that they know of, so that I can go and look at different pages and try to figure out what's going on?
I asked the question. Hi, I'm Susan from the Y. I've done it 2 different ways to update our page, and I have had no luck. And then today, when you were showing some examples, I noticed that I think it was the yoga page also had a hard return. It's just, my document's a mess. I've gone in, I've cleared all the formatting, I've followed all the directions, I've reached out to GiveGab. I have had absolutely no luck with this.
I'm going to chime in here because the example you shared was actually from my organization, the River Center. So yes, I have experienced the same thing, and it's maddening. There is no hard return in there. It just arbitrarily throws it in. So I would love to hear some feedback on that too. I struggled with this last year as well.
Great, it's good to hear this. Not good to hear that you have a problem, but that I'm becoming aware of them. And Susan, what's your organization?
Hi, Southern District YMCA, Exeter. And again, like, I've gone in multiple times, and I'm a visual person, so it changes the font, it changes everything, and it just doesn't look good.
Yeah, I will check in with GiveGab on this issue, and I will take a look at your profile specifically to see if there's something funky that I can identify. So we will try to get this so that everybody has a pretty profile.
Thanks, Deborah. Jean, do you want to go ahead and unmute and ask your question?
Yes, please. I'm also totally new to this. And is it possible to go into the New Hampshire Gives website and take a look at profiles of other organizations and peer-to-peer pages, just to get a clue?
Yes. If you go to nhgives.org/search,
yeah,
that will give you access to all of the organizations that are registered and fully verified.
So NH Gives. what's the rest of the address? .org.
Jean, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can just take 2 seconds here and just show you this. So if you go to nhgives.org and you scroll down to where it says join these or awesome organizations, you can just click right here. You can also go to the full list of organizations, but you can just click right here, and all these profile pages are public right now. So you can just go through and get some ideas for what other folks are doing, ideas for donation levels, imagery, those sorts of things. So those examples are all available to you.
Okay, and the second question is, how can I see what is happening with what I have done so far? Like, I have actually set up the levels of giving, added a picture, but it still shows as black, not as being done. And I don't know whether that's because I haven't put a picture or a video there yet.
When you are logged in, there should be a place there where you can see a link that will go directly to your profile so that you can view it.
Okay.
Just trying to pull that up so that I can see.
While Deborah's working on that, I'll just respond to Katie's question. How does one's organization end up on that list? I'm guessing you're referring to those 5 or 6 highlighted icons on the New Hampshire Gives homepage, and that is randomly selected, rotating. So there's nothing that you need to do as long as you're one of the 460 registered organizations. You are on that full list, and your organization's icon will be randomly selected at times for that highlighted portion.
Yeah, so when you are logged in to your New Hampshire Gives 2022 GiveGab profile backend, there's a link that says preview your profile. It's a button. It's down at the bottom of the page on the where I'm looking. So you should be able to use that to get to your profile. The other thing is to go to that part of the page that Kelly showed and click on view all. And as long as your organization is fully verified, you should be able to search on your organization from there and see the profile as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Deborah, Peter's asking if it's possible to see past year's leaderboards.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think they cease to exist once we start the new day. So the website completely switches over and the old website is kind of wiped out.
Peter, are you trying to get a sense of the visuals of what the leaderboard looks like, or of sort of top performing organizations last year?
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to plan my communication to our constituents about sort of what they can expect in terms of the match impact of their gift through New Hampshire Gives this year. And I know that we won't have a specific amount to tell them. So I was just hoping to use historical data to come up with a ballpark estimate of how I might be able to explain to them, based on past giving to New Hampshire Gives, your gift this year might be matched X%. So just wanted to see if any of that information was still available. But it's okay that it's not. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if there's data available that would be helpful for that.
I looked back at the sort of culminating wrap-up emails that said the total number of gifts that were made, and so I can use that, but I just figured I'd ask if there was any more detailed info, but it's okay. Thank you.
Okay. I'll keep my brain spinning on that one.
And Jill's just weighing in here that the analytics showing their past organizational info has been helpful. I don't know whether that helps you or not, Peter, but thanks for weighing in there, Jill.
Carol?
I wrote this question down, but just so it doesn't get passed over. If a peer-to-peer, if a fundraiser puts on their fundraising page that they are individual, they themselves are matching, they do their own match on their page. Does that amount that they are saying, let's say $100, I'll match the first $100. Does that $100, and then they put that into their fundraising page themselves, once they get to $100, hopefully. Does that $100 get deleted towards the total amount of the organization's amount raised towards the percentage bonus pool? Like I know
as long as they make that donation online. So if they said, hey, we'll give you a check for $200 when we reach $200, that's not going to count. But if they tell their donors, I'm going to match it, and they make their matching donation online, it will count towards your total, your online total, because it was an online gift.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Deborah, there was also a question, I think from Carol earlier, about whether or not there'll be the ability to make a test donation prior to 5 p.m. on June 7th.
There will not. The donations will open at 5 p.m. On June 7th, and that will be the first opportunity to make a donation.
But there will be testing that is conducted by GiveGab prior to that point. So while you will not have, am I understanding that correctly, Deborah, right?
Yes, they do testing. They make a donation and test it. I would just give some advice in the absence of another question right now, and that is right before New Hampshire Gives, go on to New Hampshire Gives and search for your organization. Make sure it's there. Make sure it comes up in the list, because we did have an organization last year that had a problem with that because of some misunderstanding when they had a duplicate organization and it got merged, and the correct organization didn't get pulled into the list. So go make sure you're there, make sure your profile looks the way it's supposed to look. Don't leave anything to chance. And I recommend doing that, over the next few weeks as well, just to make sure that you're fully verified and able to accept donations and that you're showing up.
Yep, and Alina, I think that's what we just addressed. There is not the ability for you to do a test donation prior to 5 p.m. on the 7th. If there are other questions, feel free to raise your hand or just go ahead and unmute or put it in the chat. I know Deborah mentions in the list of things at the top of the hour that the incentives page is now up and public. I'll just give another plug for that. Depending on, sort of what you're choosing to focus on around the day, what your strategy is, this is a great thing to take a look at and see if there are, particular prizes of interest. We have some new ones like the 100% board support golden ticket. That's a $1,000 prize. So that may be something that you want to take a look at. Our New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits membership prize is also $1,000 this year. So if your organization is not a current member of the center, that may be again something you want to consider taking advantage of. Certainly, there's lots of other great benefits to membership, in addition to the potential opportunity to win a prize here. So that may be worth just taking a couple minutes to scroll through. And there it is.
So it's a pretty long page. You're not going to be able to read it all while I'm on the screen, but there's quite a few. I will say that there is one prize that is not listed yet, and I'm hoping to get that up as soon as possible, but I didn't want to hold everything else up while we were waiting.
We will be having another coffee hour in 2 weeks on May 18th. If there are, questions that come up for you between now and then, certainly you can reach out to us at any time. But if this forum is helpful for you, we hope you'll join us again. And it looks like Alice has her hand up. Alice, do you want to go ahead and unmute?
Yeah, hi. I have a question for TJ about COSVID. We, Breakthrough Manchester, are hosted at the Dairyfield School, and we are fortunate enough to have access to a lot of the products they use, and they use something called ThankView. Is that the same concept as COSVID? And if so, what are the differences?
Good question.
Are you familiar with ThankView?
Yes, ThankView is one of our competitors.
I had a feeling.
Yes. Again, going back to that first thing is like COSVID is all about personalization and making a connection with your donors. So I'm not completely well versed in what ThankView accomplishes, but yeah, I know that COSVID has various different touch points at which you can customize and completely personalize the message, which is kind of the way that we position ourselves. So yeah, that's probably not a super satisfying answer, but that's kind of, I'd be happy to email you separately with a better answer.
Yeah, and I think
Okay.
it might be
I was
interesting.
just curious. I mean, I might just go ahead with the free trial. We have access to ThankView, but COSVID seems like a great product, so we might just try it out and then see where
Yeah,
we get.
that's what I was going to say, that it's a great opportunity to do a comparison. So you could get the free trial and then compare it to what you already have.
So thank you.
Yes, yeah, my feelings won't be hurt if thank you. Okay. I just wanted to say thank you, Deborah, for putting this together and having COSVID being able to share what we do. So I just wanted to say thank you to you and hope that this event continues to go well in the next 34 days.
Thank you for being here, TJ. I know TJ came in at the last minute to rescue someone who was on the West Coast and was going to have to join us at 6 a.m. their time. So I do appreciate that you were able to do that for us on short notice.
Yes, yeah, and I'm happy to. 9 a.m. is a little bit easier on the the sleep schedule. So
this morning I was like, who scheduled this at 9 a.m.? Yeah, it was me. Coffee hour, it makes me think early. So other questions, we've got like 5 minutes. There are no stupid questions. Go ahead, Natalie. You got to unmute yourself.
Sorry, thank you. I wanted to ask regarding matching and the concept of how you set up your matching. We don't have the bandwidth to have a match time frame, and then when that time frame is met, set up another new match. Could you talk to that a little bit? Experience of people who've done the matching and what the benefits are of perhaps taking the time to do that?
So sure, you're asking about, you have multiple matches,
yeah,
and you don't have the bandwidth to go in and when one ends, turn on the other one.
That's right.
You can set it. You can set one to start at 5 o'clock when the day starts. You can set another one to start at 9 p.m. You can set them ahead of time to be delayed and then just let them go. And if one happens to run into the other, then somebody's getting their donation tripled instead of doubled. So that makes donors happy too, to see it get tripled.
Okay.
I will also ask a question. I'll before this leaves my head, because my brain doesn't hold information very often. I had a question from somebody yesterday if we had any samples of outreach to potential matching donors, matching sponsors. So I said that I would ask this group if anybody has any sample communications that they use to reach out to matching donors, and you could send that to me so that I could share it. That would be really great. It's definitely something that we're lacking. Natalie, did you have another question?
Now, that would be very helpful to have something like that, as I need to make some phone calls to these sponsors for matching, and I'm just trying to put my script together on what I want to say to them, and it can be confusing trying to figure that out. So that would be helpful if someone else had some experience doing that.
Yeah,
share
anybody who has something, they can send it to nhgives@nhnonprofits.org, or they can send it to me, dclark@nhnonprofits.org. We probably have time for one more question. I like that idea. I'm sorry, who's speaking?
It was just me. I was just gonna plug that we're getting into the time here that we will be ramping up our New Hampshire Gives social media posts, and many of those will be sort of donor facing messages that you can share on your own channels. So if you haven't already followed the New Hampshire Gives Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts, now is a great time to do that. And those are posts that are ready to go, and all you need to do is share, and perhaps add a little bit of your own organizational language if you would like to. I'll put those links in the chat.
I just wanted to comment on Jen's comment in the chat that they're reaching out to somebody who typically makes a large donation this time of year anyway, and asking them if they can use if they'll do it as a match. So I think that's one of the ways that you can get some matches is finding people who normally would give a chunk of money and letting them know that they can make their dollar go further through using it as a match. Usually is a positive thing for them. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank everyone for being a part of New Hampshire Gives. Thank TJ for taking time with us today to hopefully get you guys excited about CAUSVID. We will be having another coffee hour in 2 weeks. We'll be talking a little bit about stewardship at that one, and then it's your last chance for those burning questions to get answered via Zoom. Obviously, you can email us with any questions that you have as well. Good luck to everyone if I don't see you before then. And thank you for joining us.